Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers of GMS, Phoenix, Arizona. Once again, we come at you. First, we want to give us all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Of course, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that have taught us this truth and rule well. As always, I want to say shalom to the 144,000. We also want to say shalom to you speckled bird out there, even though you may look like the heathen but are not the heathen, as we always say. This has nothing to do with outside appearance, skin tone, eye color, or hair color. It has nothing to do with any of that. Also want to say shalom to the Aqua and to the Akim. Now, everybody's been paying attention to the news lately. Me and the brothers was talking about what's going on in the news today, what's going on with Trump and this war in Venezuela and all the things that you're seeing. This is going into prophecy too, to let you know we're at the time of the end. Now, of course, before World War III cranks all the way off, of course, we're going to come into Jeremiah 30 and 7 and the rest of the things, the rest of the prophecies that's going to take place. So we're in that time of wars and rumors of wars. This is what you're seeing. But you're also seeing Esau, Babylon, aka America, for what it's really for. A killer, a murderer, and a liar, and a thief. So when it goes back to what's happening with Venezuela, he's talking as if Trump is talking as if he's going to help the Venezuelans. Well, if that's the case, you might want to ask the Native Americans when they came and helped them, what happened? Who got the smaller the smaller end of the stick? So you have that understanding when this devil goes over there, what is he doing? He's taking their resources. He's going to take all their oil, and he's going to take all their gold. Going into what? Also doing that for them small hats, the tiny tops. Because at the end of the day, he's ruled by the tiny tops. Right. We've had this conversation before, and I don't know if you Babylonians, you Americans have paid attention, those that are listening to us that are not of the house of Israel. Did you ever pay attention when Trump or the president put on the yarmulke? When they put that yarmulke and they go hump that wall, what are they telling America? What was Trump telling America? We're not America no more. We're Israel. Another reason why he keeps saying, we back Israel. The scripture talk about, I think that's in Jeremiah where it says, the least shall bring them out. The least of the flock shall bring them out. Matter of fact, we'll get that scripture too. Because that's what we're seeing. They're doing the bidding of Israel at the end of the day to make them rich. So, before we go there, let me get Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. Chapter 12, 10, 12, and 16. Baba Kushab.
Ecclesiasticus?
Yes, sir.
That's an apocryphal, right?
Yep. Because this goes back, and the brothers again, this goes back to never trust thy enemy.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy. Never trust thine enemy, for it's like as iron rusts, so is his wickedness.
Mm-hmm. So never trust thy enemy. Once again, this enemy is a liar. Mm-hmm. He's a killer, a murderer. He never keeps at home. Can you go further? Go from 12 to, I guess you can jump to 16 or read all the way down to 16.
Though he humbles himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah, so in verse 16, even though he humbled himself, he sits as if, oh, I'm really trying to help. I'm thinking about your best interest. I'm coming over to do this and help them. That's how he planned it. If you listen to what he's saying, he humbled up. Well, they're on cocaine. They're doing this. They're doing that. We're just coming over there just to help them.
Right. He falsely says that his motives are for the greater good.
Exactly, when they're not.
Mm-hmm. So they have that alternative
motive,
man. And everybody sees that.
Yep.
Everybody sees that. You can look into it, man. You'll find out, why those actions are being taken. And it ain't for the sake of the Venezuelans, man.
Not at all.
It's not to help those people over there. And as far as stopping drugs, they ain't gonna stop that, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. They don't stop they went to war with the cartel, right?
Yeah.
They went to war. They started sending back these so-called illegal immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't stopped the influx of drugs in America.
Nope.
That come from Mexico. Hey, those drugs, they come from all over. They can go from Colombia through Mexico. They go from Venezuela through Mexico. Not saying that Venezuela doesn't have probably probably traffic drug, because they do. You know,
Mhm.
that's a, you know what? But America makes money off that shit, man.
Exactly.
Because if you go look at every time they bust one of these high level cartel leaders members, they go into their houses and what do they find? They find American dollars. Man.
Exactly.
American dollars.
Yeah, not pesos.
Yeah. American dollars. So,
Mhm.
they're basically it's an economy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So they know about that and they profit off that, man. You know, they got budgets of millions of dollars that set aside to pay these DEA agents and
I
all
was about
that.
to say that, going to the
You know,
CIA and all that.
CIA, you know, and if you watch that movie, what's it called? Sicario?
Oh yeah, Sicario. Yeah.
That basically exposes how the interaction between America and those different organizations operate, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always it's on the shady side.
Yup, you scratching my back, I'll scratch yours.
Right.
As long as you're needed. You know, we'll let you do your dirt. And there's a lot of shows like that that kind of just tell you what it is. And somebody may say, well, those are shows. But that's the funny thing. Yeah, they're shows, but they're still telling you what's really going on.
Yeah, you know, it ain't no, the government of America is not a squeaky clean organization.
Not at all. This place got a lot of blood on its hands.
It's built on corruption, it's built on lies. You know, it's just as corrupt as any other country, man.
Mm-hmm.
But they hide it better.
Yep.
That's all it is, man. But I'm gonna go back to this. It says verse 12. Set him not by thee,
Mm-hmm.
lest he that when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and keep their words. So he's always. It says there he's always seeking dominance, man.
Yep. Yep.
He wants to take your seat. He wants to overthrow you. He wants to stand up in your place.
Yep. And that's what he does. When you think about it, when these other countries, when you always hear, you know, snatch of a president, somebody's been killed over there,
Right.
and all of a sudden somebody else comes in power. Even though it may not be Esau himself, but Esau put someone in there that has an agreement with.
Yeah.
He's still there.
They call that puppet leaders, man.
Yeah, your puppet leaders once again. So at the end of the day, you start to see what this devil is doing.
Well, the president is a puppet leader.
Yeah,
He's controlled by the elites, man.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
When he's reading off the teleprompter, when he's reading off the paper, them are not his words.
Yeah.
Them are the handler's words that, hey, you better say this and say that.
Yeah, he's not the one that's sitting there in his desk coming up with all these plans and these war tactics and none of that shit.
Come.
These are all things that they're telling him to do.
Mm-hmm.
These are actions that they're telling him to take. You know, he's not some mastermind technician, tactician. You know what I'm saying? Fucking genius diplomat. You know, he ain't none of that, man. He's a playboy billionaire.
That's all he
That's he did. He was in the WWF, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He sure was.
Yeah. He was in movies, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Good actor.
what do you call it? He's a Hollywood figure.
Yeah.
You know, he had this earlier in his youth. You know, he went around with his Playboy image, man. He made fucking Pizza Hut commercials.
Yeah, he did a lot of
You know what
stuff.
I'm saying? Like how can you take that guy
Serious.
individual like that seriously, man? You know, that just shows you that he's not the one really calling the shots, man.
No,
It's the elites, and you know they want to take over the whole fucking world, man.
There
They
you
want
go.
to bring in the new world order. That's why it says right there, he will overthrow you, stand up in that place.
Huh.
But I'll go to verse 13. It says, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent,
Mm-hmm.
or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is a foul with him, and the sins, who will pity?"
Yeah, who's a pity the one that's gonna follow behind him? Who gonna pity you for falling for the serpent venom? He bites you.
Yeah, you know, you drinking the philosophy that Esau's, you know, you're partaking in that, man. You know, you're getting fucked up off his philosophies, man. But since you know, they offer these dealers of these countries, they offer them these millions of dollars and backroom deals, they'll sell out their own country, man.
Con, that's that Jeremiah 51:7. You know, matter of fact, brother, give me that Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5, because see, this is nothing that having that understanding that this devil goes into other countries to take what's not his,
Yeah.
you know, and laden with thick clay, that debt.
Yeah. It's, I'll go to verse 15. It says, for while he will abide with thee, but if thou, for a while he will abide with thee.
Mm-hmm.
But if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. You know, they did that in Afghanistan. They did it in Iraq. They did it in Vietnam.
Yep, sure did, when they dipped out on him.
Yeah. You know, they set up these regimes and all this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they left, it went back to the same old shit, man.
Yeah, because once they started killing them people, see, any of y'all that was with the Americans, they sat them on their knees and started chopping off their heads.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, remember, back, what was that, 2 years, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
When they were all trying to get on the bomber, and they were hanging onto the wheels and stuff, trying to get out of there.
They left all their shit over there.
Yep.
They left,
That was Biden's
they
time,
left
They had tanks, helicopters,
Uzis, or, you know,
guns.
millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer paid, you know,
equipment.
You know what I'm saying?
They showed them in there playing with the stuff, driving and spinning around in the Humvees and stuff.
You know, so you know that's what's that about? But at the same time, they're giving money. They gave millions of dollars to was it Ukraine, right?
Uh-huh.
They give millions of dollars to Palestine. You know what I'm saying? Israel, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming out of
That's your tax money.
Yeah, it's coming out of your pocket, man.
Now you start seeing why the Babylonians here are getting upset. They're starting to realize, like, wait a minute, all our tax dollars, we ain't getting our money. You just funding the war.
Yeah, they're questioning that even these other Edomites, because the house that shall stand against itself, man.
Yep.
You know,
Egyptian against Egyptian.
Yeah, even these Edomites, they're like, why the fuck we doing all this for Israel? Like, why are we doing that? You know, what's
Exactly.
The point, you know? They singing that, you know, they're being open. Their eyes are being open to the things that are around them, man.
Mm-hmm. They starting to catch on to the bullshit of what what their president is doing.
Right.
You know, also too, you know, if you don't know what brother has it, that Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5, and then read from 5 all the way to 8, basically.
Good. Habakkuk 2 verse 5 and reads it also, because transgressed by wine, he's a proud man,
Mm-hmm.
to keep it at home, who will guard the desire of his hell, and of his death.
Yeah, so hold on. So when going back into that, Habakkuk 2 and 5, he's a proud man, never keep it at home, which lets you know even then he's doing the same thing. If you go into history, is what the Romans did. The same thing what Alexander did. What did they do? They went out to other lands and they go into other lands and conquer other lands, or they go into other lands and put their input or their thoughts or their hands into those other people's business.
Yeah.
And it was a while back, I remember, I think that was in the 80s when I was a kid, maybe early 90s. And I remember hearing this. It was a Moab on the TV, and he was saying if America would mind their own business, they could be a strong country, but this is how they will fall. Too busy running about into other people's affairs and matters. I will never forget that. And I was a kid when he had said that. It just stuck with me. Go ahead.
Because look at all the money they give to all the other nations, man. Even
Huh?
the countries in debt, they give all the money out to the other nations, bro.
Yep.
Because honestly, that money is basically owns to the people and to in other nations. Like, hey man, the economy keeps falling over and over.
Yep.
But Esau just kept it to himself, right? Even they cut that military to half and budget to keep most of his at home and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The economy gets way better over time. But yet Esau doesn't see that. Well, Esau wants to control everything.
Yeah, he want to control everything and everybody, which goes right back to the time of Esau and Jacob and to that birthright. Because at the end of the day, that's what he wants. He wants to have full control over everything and everybody, which he ain't gonna get.
Right. We got a precept going on.
Hey, go ahead.
Because it said Esau wanted to control everything and everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says Micah 2:2, and it says that they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. See, they covet fields, man. They covet land, they covet territories. That's what covet fields mean, man.
Mm-hmm.
And take them by violence, by means of war. Not by diplomacy. Not by like that we was talking about earlier. Diplomatic means. By coming to mutual agreements with the other country. They take them by violence.
Uh-huh.
It says that in houses and take them away, for they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, man. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, meaning they go in there, these other countries, and they put forth their philosophies, they say, for example, that the homosexual agenda, there was, I forgot what country it was, but They didn't want to go along with the homosexual agenda, so say, well, you're not gonna go along with this homosexual agenda of ours, we're not gonna give you any more aid, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what they do. You know, and that's what the brother was talking about. Go ahead, bro.
You know, go ahead.
No, I was not.
Oh, no, the rest of the scripture.
Yeah. So back to verse 5 again. They also, it's having to do verse 5 means they also, because he translated by wine,
Mm-hmm.
he's a proud man, he can keep it at home, will guard his desire as hell and as death, and be satisfied, but guide unto him all nations, and keep it unto all people.
And why does he do that? Because the Lord has put a proud spirit within him, man.
Uh-huh.
If you read up one more verse, it says his soul which is lifted up, or which is proud, man.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and get that.
Yeah, I got it. But it's Habakkuk 2 verse 4 and read, behold,
Mm-hmm.
his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yes, man. So you can't fucking it's like a spoiled child. You can't make him see any type of fucking common sense or mutual agreement.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
You know, like he gonna fucking stop, man. You know what I'm saying? He's an unreasonable fucking individual, and that's why the Lord got to take him out.
Yep.
You know. Go ahead.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him,
Mm-hmm.
but the just will live by faith.
Yeah, because all he does is fuck things up, man. He's fucking Sid from Toy Story, man.
Yep.
That's
Oh my
he is.
goodness.
He just there fucking shit up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you do the fucking evil little bastard, man. That's what he is, bro.
Oh my God, I don't see it.
Yeah,
Toy
bro.
Story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, also because he's transgressed by wine, he's a proud man, he can keep it at home, will guard his desire as hell, as death, can be satisfied.
Yeah.
And he is as death and cannot be satisfied.
You gotta break it down for the new listeners.
Yeah.
You know, it says he transgressed by wine. That's speaking of the
Philosophies
that he enforces upon these other countries, man. You know, he either keep it at home. He don't stay in his own lane, man. He needs to have embassies and he needs to have bases
everywhere.
He needs to spread his evil upon all the earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's his blessing. Just, you know, go to Genesis, the 25th chapter. It says, "You shall have the fatness
Of the earth.
and by the sword you shall live."
Come.
You know, so that's what he's supposed to do. He's doing what the Lord. He's fulfilling. He's self-fulfilling himself as Esau. When Esau describes that's what Esau's going to do. So that's another indicator that he is Esau. He is the Edomite. He is the hated people of the Lord, man. The Lord hates him, man. The Lord hates him. What does Scripture say? Jacob have I loved,
Esau have I hated.
Esau have I hated. That just proves that the Lord hates you. The Lord Lord's going to put you in slavery and ultimately destroy you. That's what that proves. Because it's like we can read Deuteronomy 28 chapter and we can understand that the blacks and Native Americans fit into the curses.
Yep.
You fit into your own description of the scriptures as well, man.
Yep.
That just proves that what we're saying is true. Go ahead, bro.
Keep it on repeat. Back to the topic is the also because transgressed by wine, he's a proud man, he can keep it at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and as death, and can be satisfied. But guide unto him all nations, and he keep unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say woe to him that increaseth that which is not his?
Mm-hmm.
How long and to him that laid himself with thick clay?
Yep, and this is what this devil has done. How long? This man's going to continue to keep doing this. You know, they going, what is it, that thick clay, going into that debt.
Yeah, even if you look up the Strong's for that, it says weight of pledges, heavy debts, man.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy debts, you know. That's why he's going out there to try to get these, Venezuela and all that to get those resources. Man.
Yeah, to get them debts off.
Yeah, he needs resources.
Yep.
He needs resources to fight these wars he's gonna fight. He needs that. He's not gonna be able to depend on the Middle East for oil because they're gonna be their enemies.
Exactly.
Russia. Didn't Russia try to do away the petrodollar, man?
Yeah, I think they already did. They were trading the ruble, was it the yen and all that other stuff, was that going into the BRICS nation, I believe? They're already trading amongst us, and that was another reason why he wanted to attack Venezuela, because Venezuela was like, you know what, we gonna get in the bed with them.
Yeah, these other countries didn't want to fuck with America anymore, man.
Yep.
That's like fool me once, shame on me. Man.
Yep.
You know,
Fool me twice, yeah, shame on you.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, man.
Let me get that Jeremiah 51:7. That goes into that too. Even we'll get Psalm 55:21 too, but that's Jeremiah 51:7. For the nations are mad. So now they're all looking and they're starting to see what it really is.
It's Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Raised Babylon have been a golden cup in the Most High's hand, and made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken with wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Fine. And so going back to the brother was saying, going back into the philosophies, going back into the book of Habakkuk, I think that was 2 and 4. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
You know, going into the philosophies, now the nations are mad. So now when you start to pay attention to everybody around the world, look at them. They're not happy with America. They're all at that point, even Vladimir Putin, all at that point is basically looking at America like, hey man, we done with them. We see him for what he really is. They definitely paying attention.
Right, and that ties into Revelation. Revelation 7:2 it says, I'll start with verse 1. There came one of the 7 angels which had 7 vials, and those vials are, they mean judgment. And talked to me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, man. We all know what the great whore is speaking about America, man.
Yep.
This Revelation 7:2 is 17:2. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk with the wine of fornication, man. You know, so that's why Esau spread his wicked philosophy upon all the earth, man. His GMO foods, you know.
All that.
There's fucking McDonald's in China, Russia, Japan. You know what I'm saying? There's pornography everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know these other
Pedo stuff.
Yeah, pedo stuff, man. Fucking all this bullshit. You know, fucking homosexuality. You know, LGBTQ, whatever the fuck. It's all being enforced upon these other nations, man. They're saying, oh, we can be like the Americans. Everybody want to be like the Americans, man. The music, everything's popular over there, man. America's a popular culture, you know, in those other countries. You know, that's why places like in the Middle East, they don't want to fuck with none of that, man.
Yeah, I remember them saying something about that.
You know, but they're not saying that they're right as well, because they're a bunch of homos and shit like that too, man.
Especially at Dubai.
Yeah, you know, they a bunch of wicked motherfuckers like that too. They just have this a little bit more order than the average heathen, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, they profess to follow the laws, you know what I'm saying? They got strict laws, you know, against women and against things like that, you know what I'm saying?
You know, also, can you give me Psalms, what was that, 55:21, Papa Tushar?
You get it?
You got it first. 57:21?
55:21.
The Psalm 55, real quick.
And there's nothing that you're hearing when you hear Trump speak.
And it reads, in fact, yeah, this one. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but what was in his heart? His words were smoother than oil. Was softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords.
So that you know, at the end of the day, this devil has always wanted war.
Right.
No matter how many times he sit there and say, well, you know, we really don't want war. We want peace. We want this. We want that. We want to show them a better way. No, he don't. No, he don't. This devil, when you go back to Habakkuk, says what? That he's not even satisfied with blood. This devil wants war. He continues, that's what he wants.
But ultimately he wants to be like God, because he got control of everything anyway.
Yep.
You know, he's just like, well, what else can I control?
Right? Can I control them over there?
Yeah. You know, that's why he wants to ship everybody, man. Because he wants to be like the Most High, especially, you know, he wants to be like the Most High, man.
Well, 2 Thessalonians, what is that, 2 and 4?
Right, but I got this one going to what the brother says. This is Psalms 28:3. It says, draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors. So they speak peace to their neighbors, right? To the country, they try to like have a good guy policy. You know, we're here to help, you know, we're here to spread freedom, you know what I'm saying? Democracy, but mischief is in their hearts. You know, mischief is in the hearts, man. War is in the hearts. Mischief. Let me look at that word mischief, man. It says bad, unpleasant, evil. You know what I'm saying? Sad, unhappy, evil, hurtful, bad, unkind. You know, distress, misery, injury, calamity. That's what's in their hearts, man. The mischief is in their heart. That's their main objective. That's their ulterior motive. That but it says that we speak peace with neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts, man. So they some like the Native Americans call these, so they call them a serpent tongue, man. Two forked tongue. Man. You know, because he's saying one shit, he's speaking
and doing another.
Man. This is verse 20, Psalm 28:4. It says, give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the works of their hands. Render them to the desert, because they regard not the works of the Most High, or the operation of his hands. He shall destroy them and not build them up, man. So that's ultimately what's going to happen.
You know. Also, too, you know, and I was going back into that war. What was I thinking? Can you give me Jeremiah 50:45? I'm trying to let you have a precept, brother.
Okay, okay.
Because having that understanding, we was talking about this earlier when we said the least shall bring them out, draw them out. Roughly paraphrasing, the brother's about to get it.
This is Jeremiah 50, verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
And read therefore here the counsel of the Most High that he taken against Babylon and its purposes, that he had purpose against the land of Chaldeans.
Mm-hmm.
Surely the least of the flock shall surely draw them. The least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
Yep. So that least that's going to draw them out is who? Israel. Now, when you start to understand,
I think we also talk about Venezuela.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the least of the flock is the smallest of these little nations right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I brought this yesterday. If you look at the word flock, it goes in, one of the commentaries said it the weakest and most feeble of armies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I looked up the Venezuelan army. Big and said no. It's not
Neither is Mexico or Brazil.
It's not a major military superpower, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about it too. Like brothers mentioned Israel. That place ain't no big, humongous. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
They ain't got no million-man army over there. You know what I'm saying? China do.
Russia do. China, Iran,
yeah. They got
Korea.
They got troops, man.
Africa.
Yeah, they got troops.
And they show them. They show them boys out. They be in sync. They be marching and doing whatever they doing. And you talking about as far as the eye can see, they ready.
And they Russian soldiers, man. They ain't like American soldiers.
Nah, them boys, they go through a rigorous training.
Yeah, they's hard, man. There's videos of them where they breaking fucking bricks over their head and shit like that.
Going through deep water, ice water, and snow.
Yeah, even if you look at the China military videos, they fucking do all kinds of crazy shit too. They're just fucking and Esau's military is weakened. It's weakened by women being there. It's weakened by
rainbow people
being up in there. It's weakened. Like there was a statistic that said that the average 18-year-old American is not fit for military service.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Only 75% of the average military age male is not fit for military service, man.
And that's the crazy thing about it. They know they're not. That's why pretty soon, I forgot the guy's name, but he was basically saying, we've been on TikTok and different apps saying that give us you parents, give us your most possession resource. Who is that? Your kids. Give us your children, give us your male boys, so they can go fight. Which is talking about what? The draft.
Right.
Because see, they know they're gonna need bodies. Regardless if you know how to fight, don't know how to fight, they need some bodies to be out there.
They need what they call it bullet sponges. They call it bullet sponges.
Bullet sponges?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They call it what do you call it?
That's horrible.
There was another word, man. Was it bullet sponge and because I remember when I was gonna go in the military, I was waiting for the Marine recruiter, and the Army guy says, "Hey, why you want to join the Marines and be a bullet sponge?" You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they said. So basically, you're cannon fodder, man. You're cannon fodder, and the scriptures talk about how there's gonna be mass death from all these wars.
Yep.
A lot of people. You're gonna go to war. And you ain't coming back to that motherfucker, man. You're gonna die in a fucking foreign country.
Yep. And that's what's gonna happen. So speaking of that draft is gonna come too. gonna snatch up your kids and whatnot. Because like I said, this war needs bodies. So at the end of the day, you start to understand that this man is as death, and he can care less. And that's what scriptures say. What is it? He's a cruel Lord. What scripture is that?
Yeah, he's a cool Lord.
Can you get that Bible, Kusha?
I'll try to find it.
Do you know where it is? Where he's a cruel Lord?
Or
Because see, that's what we seeing too. Because at the end of the day, hey man, Esau don't care. And another thing is, you can say, why is he not putting his son up there? Biden, or was it Brandon or not Brandon? What's that boy's name? His son,
Who, Trump's son?
Trump's son. Why is he not putting his oldest son in
I
there?
don't know. I've got to say, you know Trump's son?
Barron
Oh,
and
yeah, Barron.
yeah, Barron and his older
There
one.
was a book, it's called The Last Barron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They said they're supposed to be, like, it had a connection to the Trumps, if I'm not mistaken.
Even so, not just him. You think about any of these presidents. You think all the ones that are talking about give us your kids. Why are their kids not getting involved? And their kids are old enough to join the military. They ain't gonna sacrifice their kids,
Right.
but they want to sacrifice yours.
Yeah, but that's that song by Creedence Clearwater Revival, Fortunate Son.
Unfortunate son.
Yeah, Fortunate Son. So I just said, so I'm a senator's son. You know, they send, like, you look at that movie Platoon, you know, the character played by Charlie Sheen, you know, he said, I volunteered for it to come here. Why should all the poor kids fight? That's what he said. So that's what it is, man. You can just say you're sending, you know, you're sending the poor of America to go fight go die and fight in your wars, man.
Yeah, and they'll try to use it as, yeah, you go out there, you're fighting for America. You're fighting for America. Yeah, but like the brother said, your ass ain't coming back.
Yeah, because that's what they told. That's what they told the troops when they went to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're going nowhere to stop terrorism coming to our country. Because it was after, like, it was post 9/11.
9/11, yeah.
Yeah, so they put it in their mind, like, if you don't go over there and fuck this shit up, terrorists are gonna come over here and attack you.
And attack
And
you.
then it was really found out it was all about fucking
Oil.
And same old shit.
Yeah.
Oil resources, man.
And
all resources. They said it was for weapons of mass destruction. They
When
didn't
it
find
was,
weapons
they
of mass
didn't find
destruction.
nothing.
Yeah, man. It was about the oil. So it was about it was even in the Gulf War, man. You know, it was about protecting fuel
Mm-hmm.
for the one of the Arab countries. I forgot who it was, man. You know,
Okay.
Even Iraq, man, it was about fuel. It was all about fucking fuel, oil,
Or some kind of resource. So now it's over fuel, lithium, gold, and whatever resources that they can snatch and power over the people.
Right.
This is what this war is going into, basically. And it's going to be the war of all wars, because this is going to have all the nations turn upon Babylon and shoot those nukes when you go into Revelation.
It's going to be the last war, because
Yeah.
about the third war cometh, man.
And it cometh quickly.
Right, the third war will be the third world war.
Matter of fact, I think you already got it. Was it Revelation 17 and 16? Where the beast shall hate the whore?
I'll jump back to it, man.
Because see, that's what we're about to see. We're going Egyptian against Egyptian. You know, and I was saying it earlier too, because they have drinking the philosophy and the wines, but also not just that. Them sanctions. All them sanctions that Trump had put on the European nation and all of that. Because they're the ones that's getting the brunt of it.
Right.
And now they're looking at America like, man, wait a minute. Every time this dude say something to do something, we feeling it. America ain't feeling it yet, but these other countries are. So what are they doing? The beast shall hate the whore. They're turning, they're looking like, oh, okay, you the problem.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Go ahead.
So Revelation 17 and 16, it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, he shall hate the whore." So that's speaking of the former allies of America. Man.
Yep.
It says that he shall hate the
You know
whore
what that one
and
says.
shall make her desolate and naked, because
That's right.
they're all going to get together to put these ICBMs on America.
Can they get
man.
out to you?
It says, "Shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire."
So now you see what's about to happen.
Mhm.
It's not literal eat, it's actually just destroy her. Completely destroy this place. And remember, Babylon has never been touched. When is the last time we seen a nuke or a missile come over here and hit Houston or New York? Never.
Yeah,
This whore ain't been touched.
That's in Jeremiah, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we talking Jeremiah 15 and 14, that's when they're gonna shoot all the arrows. We'll get that
The
too.
one that talks about was that their skirts shall be uncovered, something to that effect.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what
Yeah,
it
but
was.
I'm gonna get this, it goes along with Revelation, that we just read.
Mm-hmm.
So Obadiah 1 and 7 says, all the men of that confederacy have
You
brought thee even to the border.
Can you get in the NLT Bible shop?
Yeah,
Cause I had, yeah.
Obadiah in the NLT.
Uh,
Okay, continue, pull it up. This Obadiah, what was it at?
1:7.
1 and 7 says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it.
And that's what's happening now. And the scriptures say you won't even know about it. When we told you that the European nation and all them, you know, these other Edomites, they're looking at it. Yeah, they're coming on TV, shaking hands, smiling, writing out deals. But the truth of the matter is, they already know not to trust this place. But they do it for publicity. They do it for the Lord like Babylonians to see. Because they all know what's about to go down. They're all in cahoots at the same time. Because at the same time, they all want a new world order. It's kind of like they might be trying to fight who gonna be on top though. Who gonna rule over it? You know. So is there a little more on that?
Oh, yeah, I'll go back to it.
Or was that all of it?
I'll find out. Is it NLT, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was Revelation 6?
No, Obadiah 1 and 7.
Oh, Obadiah 1 and 7? Let's see what it says.
Can we,
You can give me Revelation. Matter of fact, give me Ezekiel the 38th chapter. We'll get that too. Because going into these other nations and Russia being a guard unto them, we can hit that too. God will make
I'm gonna get this in the NLT. It says that at that time, not a single wise person will be left in the whole land of Edom, says the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
For on the mountains of Edom, I will destroy everyone who has understanding. The mighty warriors of Teman will be terrified, and everyone on the mountain of Edom will be cut down and slaughtered. Because of the violence he did to your close relatives in Israel. That's talking about the Ish people.
Yeah.
It says you will be filled with shame and destroyed forever. When they were invaded, you stood aloof, refusing to help them. Foreign invaders carried off their wealth and cast lots to divide up Jerusalem, but you acted like one of Israel's enemies. You should have not gloated when they exiled your relatives, because technically Esau is our brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
the brother.
he's a relative, man. It says, you should not have gloated when they exiled your relatives in distant lands. You should not have rejoiced. When the people of Judah suffered such misfortune, you should have not spoken arrogantly in that terrible time of trouble. You should not have plundered the land of Israel. They were suffering such calamity. You should not have gloated over destruction. They were suffering such calamity. You should not have seized their wealth when they were suffering such calamity. You should not have stood at the crossroads, killing those who tried to escape. You should not have captured the survivors and handed them over in a terrible time of trouble.
So you're basically in trouble, Esau, Edom, for the controversy of Zion.
That's why the scripture says he watered to her double. So much sorrow and torment.
Give her.
So that's a payback for all of this, man. That's the Lord's gonna allow us to get our get back, man. The scripture says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord, man.
That's right, and that's gonna happen. And y'all gonna definitely pay. You definitely gonna pay in the kingdom, you Edomites. Matter of fact, what I have you going, brother? Oh, you already got it. Brother already got it. Let me get, what else I had? Ezekiel the 38th chapter, verse 4, down. It's having going into when it's going into this war, you have that understanding what's going on with these other nations. You understand that when Russia jumps in and says, well, if you do this or that, America, I'm getting involved.
Right.
So Ezekiel the 38th chapter, you can start from 4 all the way down.
Ezekiel 38 verse 4 reads, and I'll turn thee back and put hooks to the jaws, and I'll bring thee forth, and all thy army horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields.
So that great company is going to them other nations too. All them warriors, all them people. Go ahead.
All of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them, with shield and helmet. Gomer, and all his hands, the house of Togomar, of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people will help thee. Many people with thee, Sakya. Be thou prepared and prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company, thou art assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Mm-hmm.
After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought forth from the sword, and is gathered together out of many people.
Okay, so going into it, that at the end of the day, Russia is a guard to all the nations, the Togomar and all of them, and his bands, and all them. So basically, what we're seeing today, when you look at Russia, and you look at the BRICS nation, and you look at all of them that's gathered together up under Russia, Russia is what? He's a guard unto them. But guess what? All of them gonna be in cahoots together to do what? To destroy Babylon, even going into the European and the EU. Because eventually they're already side-eyeing Babylon, which goes back into for the beast shall turn on the whore and destroy her.
Right.
You know, so you have an understanding what's about to happen when the brother was saying this will be the war of all wars. This is the last war, World War III, and it's inevitable. It's going to happen. There is nothing nobody can say or do on this earth to change it. When Yahweh Shah said this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Matter of fact, that's why you get Revelations 18 and 10, you start to understand. Did you get that?
So 8 to 10?
Revelation 18 and 10.
I got it quick.
Also Revelations 9 and 16.
I read that, man.
Verse 18, verse 10 reads, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city of Babylon, my city, for 1 hour thy judgment comes.
So now you start to have the understanding of what's going to happen to all 50 states of America. Babylon, aka America, it is going to be destroyed. It's going to be bombed out, depleted. And when you go, when the brother gets Revelations, what is that, 9 and 16, under 200,000 thousands. And the brother broke it down. Tyler Pliny, I think it was Tyler Pliny that was telling me, he said, what was it?
200 million.
200 million, but he said how many people a household in America. He said basically it's a missile for every house in America.
That's good. Shit.
You boy.
Well, they have those missiles that take one missile with the Satan 3 or something like that.
Satan 1, Satan 2.
Yeah, they can take out like a place the size of Texas.
Yup. Go ahead.
So it's gonna be overkill, you know. So it's gonna be overkill in this place. It's gonna literally turn it into a lake of fire.
Con.
You know, Scripture talking about in the book of Peter, if I'm not mistaken, that the elements shall melt with
Fervent heat, 2 Corinthians 7.
Everything's gonna be turned
To liquid.
yeah, everything, just these chairs, everything,
Yep.
man.
Lava.
And most likely when we up when things are going down, man.
Con.
Most likely when we up in the Sherry looking at this structure.
Stand on the sea of glass looking down like,
Right. Most likely, you know, we are those men.
Con.
And the Lord gives us salvation in that day.
Mm-hmm.
But that overkill is going to create a lake of fire, man. It's going to this whole country is going to be just engulfed in flame, and it's going to burn that way for a long time, man.
Mm-hmm. And the scriptures say that the earth shall rock to and fro like a drunkard.
Right.
See, and it's also, you know, at that time, you know, people think when this happens that the earth will be destroyed, but the scriptures say the earth abided forever.
Yeah.
Would you?
And America's going to be left as a testament, like a visual testament that see that's what happened.
That's what happened. You don't listen to your Shah. Now you see of a wicked generation of wicked people and what happened to them.
It's like Sodom and Gomorrah, you know.
Still there, yeah.
There's a barren land and the I guess the
Sand and sulfur.
The earth right there is you can't grow nothing there.
Nope.
It's highly concentrated in sulfur and you know, I think you said that shit on
Yeah,
fire.
because one guy showed on TV, he took something, he said the Bible was telling the truth, and he took it and he lit it, and it turned blue.
Yeah.
That real hot flame.
I think there's also like a pillar of salt on there too. Man.
Yeah, they show Lot's wife. They have a gate around there, like, look, this is Lot's wife. That's a big old thing standing there.
Just like those monuments stand at the Lord's judgment today, you know, America's going to stand as a monument to the Lord's judgment as well, to the ultimate judgment.
We better fly over here with our kids. Say, see? I guess we want to in the chair. Just look, maybe.
Or you can just show them like holographic.
Holographic, like, yeah, this is what happened. You see? Now you know.
Right?
Oh, did you get it? Revelation?
Yeah, this is Revelation 16.
No, 9 and 16.
Yes, like this is Revelation 9 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
It says the number of the army of the horsemen, because who are the horsemen? The horsemen are the weapons of the Lord, man.
Mm-hmm.
Those belong to the Lord.
In Isaiah, what is that?
So the army of the horsemen, the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them, 200,000, I heard the number of them, that's going into like 200 million, right?
That, like the brother was saying earlier, overkill. You talking about 200,000
Or
nukes.
200 million.
200 million.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
200 million. Man, yeah, this earth gonna be dancing.
Yeah, because every nuke has multiple warheads in it, thing. So once that one missile in the head of it, it has different, warheads that come out of that, the tip of it, man.
And the scripture's going to brother's gonna get, this is the armory of the Lord. Can you get that one?
Yeah, I got it. It's Isaiah 54 and verse 16. We
Mhm.
behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and I bring forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Go ahead.
I just want off quickly.
Okay, so going back to that, he put into the minds of these people, you had what was it, Tiemann, which is your Germans, I believe, that had learned to build the new. Y'all seen that? Y'all ever seen that? I haven't watched all of it. Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer. When he built the nuke, and I think he was like, man, I created death.
Yeah.
To split them atoms and do all of that. Yahweh Shem Yahshua, according to the scriptures, tells you he put into their minds to build these
He
things.
quoted I think one of the Elamite books. I have become the story of worlds.
Yeah.
So at the same time, you have this understanding that Yahweh Shem Yahshua put in these men's mind to create their own downfall, and that ain't just it. Yahweh Shah's coming too. So you have to have this understanding where we are about to go, where we're at. We glad, because we understand when these things happen, we go home. We go to the kingdom. We know that the next thing over is the kingdom. So some of y'all might be like, well, y'all know this destruction. Why y'all so happy? We happy because we know we got next to rule.
Yeah, because we understand that we just passing through this.
Exactly. This ain't our rest.
Yeah, we're not gonna look back, man.
Nah.
Say like, Fox Stupid, how should I say, remember Lot's wife, right?
Mm-hmm. She looked back.
Yeah, we are not those that draw back, man. That's what the scripture says, man. We most high women, we are the men that keep our hand on the plow to the time of the very end, man, that endure to the very end.
Can you give me Jeremiah 15 and 14? I think brother had quoted it.
50 and 40?
Mm-hmm. Jeremiah chapter 50 and 14, I believe. Spare no arrows, which goes right back to the news. And then the brother, he give me the last scripture, Revelations 18 and 21, and we close it out with that.
Oh, the Hindu scripture.
Oh, yeah.
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 Hindu for that destroy world.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's Hindu?
Yeah.
Okay,
But it's Jeremiah 15 and verse 14. It reads, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about, all that bend and bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Most High."
Mm-hmm. Now, all those that bend the bow, shoot at her around about, going into what? Your heathen nations. Now you start to understand what's about to happen when we go into World War III. All those nations, all those heathen nations that surround Babylon, aka America, what? They bend in the bow. There's not a real bow and arrow, of course. It's basically the missiles in the silos. They got them ready. When they hit that button, the missiles are going to fly. Them arrows are going to fly. And the scriptures talk about they will not miss their mark. And then if the brother give me that revelation, we'll close it out. 18 and 21. Baba Kushab.
This is our Revelation 18:21. It says, "And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all."
There you go. So this place will be found no more at all. So we've told you exactly what's happening. Before these things happen, of course, we'll come into Jeremiah chapter 30 and 7. We'll come into the second Ezra 15 chapter. We'll come into Revelation 13 verse 16 and 17 before the nukes start flying.
Right.
Even though right now they pumping chests and they pushing each other like a fight's starting up again and they shoving each other. The blows ain't came yet. So now you understand what is about to take place. Hopefully you was edified. The brothers have any other precepts? We're going to give all praise, glory, and honor. It's to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, and Shalom until the next time.